When people living in Chemainus turn on their taps, fresh, clean drinking water is now pouring out. The Chemainus water system is up and running as the District of North Cowichan runs tests. And while the water is flowing in Chemainus, there is also a battle happening in BC Supreme Court over the same issue. Hey, News reporter Brent Shearer has more on the story. He joins us live in our Mid-Island Bureau. Brent.
Hudson, the Halalt First Nation is in court right now arguing its Aboriginal rights and title were violated when the District of North Cowichan tapped into the aquifer beneath its traditional lands. The water flowing out of this faucet isn't always safe to drink, but it is for the next week. And that's great news for the owner of this restaurant.
I have noticed a change in the smell. It doesn't smell quite as chlorinated as it used to. And also, we haven't had any boil water advisories.
Almost like clockwork, after every heavy dose of rain, the town of Chemainus is subject to boil water advisories. It's an inconvenience people living here can do without.
What's happened with the boiled advisory is that I've got to boil the water, then I've got to cool it, and then I've got to put it into my, the coffee pot to try and boil it again. And it's a hassle.
The Chemainus Wells project eliminates that hassle by drawing water out of the Chemainus aquifer, replacing the town's unreliable surface water supply. The Chemainus aquifer is beneath the Halalt First Nation's traditional territory. They've tried to stop the water project from going ahead, even going so far as to blockade this road in front of their band office.
We're going to have to ask you to turn around. We are protesting against the water lines.
The blockade drew attention to the Halalt First Nation's allegation that they weren't adequately consulted before work on the water system began. The 10-day blockade came down after the Halalt First Nation reached an agreement to negotiate a watershed management plan. But that hasn't stopped the First Nation from taking the province and District of North Cowichan to BC Supreme Court, seeking to repeal the project's environmental assessment certificate.
All I can say is the Halalt First Nations have challenged our certificate, and that process is ongoing in the courts, and because it's in the courts right as we're speaking, I just can't comment on it.
No one from the Halalt First Nation was available to comment today, but a spokesperson did tell A News the Halalt First Nation will honor the court's decision on the matter, and it hopes the District of North Cowichan will do the same. The court hearings wrap up July 9th after a 3-week break in June. The District of North Cowichan will be switching back over to the old water supply system on June 15th. If all goes as planned, on September 15th, they will be returning to the new system. All this is to conduct tests to make sure the aquifer can handle the increase in demand and to make sure the water going into the system is safe to use. Hudson?
All right. Brent Shearer reporting. Brent, thank you.
Thank you.